A Big 12 rivalry is reignited on this Saturday night in Daikin Park. It's the 376th meeting between the Baylor Bears and the Texas Longhorns. And the Bears are looking to ride on their extra inning upset over number 11 Ole Miss yesterday. And you can catch all the action right here on the Baylor Lariat Radio. Hi everyone, and I hope y'all are doing well. I'm Jeffrey Cohen here alongside me, Andrew Denk. And Andrew, the biggest win for the Bears in the Mitch Thompson era we got to call yesterday in a 6-5 win over number 11 Ole Miss in the 10th inning. And it seemed like a tale of two games almost, especially from the offense. For most of that game, probably the first 7 or so innings, strikeout after strikeout. They struck out 19 times, but then they finally started to turn it around in the 8th inning.
Absolutely, Jeff. And I think the biggest thing is what Mitch Thompson keeps on harping on is the idea that the Bears need to put the ball in play. When the defense is doing its job, the offense needs to do its job, put the ball in play. The Bears forced 2 errors on the Rebels yesterday, and they only put the ball in play 20 times. So for them to have that much of an efficiency of getting errors, collegiate baseball is full of errors. And I think if the Bears can emphasize on that and really hone in on getting those errors today against the Texas Longhorns, that could be a key to the game for them.
Yeah, and you look to what happened yesterday between the 2nd and 7th innings of yesterday's game. Baylor put the ball in play only 7 times, and they struck out every single one of those innings. And some of those they struck out 3 times. And so you saw the difference. It was night and day. When they're not putting that ball in play, they're not succeeding. They're not scoring runs. And it's easy for the opposing pitcher to just roll. But then when you look to the 8th inning, it really started with that Tice Armstrong 2-out double. And then Travis Sanders follows that up with a single. Hunter Snow caps that off with a 3-run home run. And they put another run in the 9th. And then Tice Armstrong with the game-winning run RBI in the 10th inning. And so it just starts with at least getting someone on base and putting that ball in play, like you said.
Absolutely. And, just getting the barrel to the ball, getting the ball into play, that has to be a recipe for success for the Bears for the rest of the season. And it starts today against the number 3 team in the country, Jeff.
Yeah, and you look to the other side of this team, you look to the pitching staff, and the starters have been fantastic. Stephon Stahl was great yesterday. He was great last week. Now we're going to get to see Ethan Calder, another guy who's typically a ground ball pitcher. He's not a guy that's going to strike you out a ton. And so now, how does Baylor and their pitchers need to attack these UT hitters in this lineup that is so difficult to pitch against?
It's exactly like you said. It's hitter after hitter in this lineup that can take the ball out of the park. We saw it last night as Aiden Robbins took a ball 466 feet off of the train in left center. A home run so far. Many fans have never seen one even go that far in this park. And the biggest key here is going to be to force ground balls. Like you said, Ethan Calder is a ground ball pitcher. He is not a strikeout artist. He does have 10 strikeouts this season, but that is a high number for him through 2 starts. The biggest key to this game is going to be to keep the ball low in the zone where hitters roll over it and force balls that your infield works with. Baylor has a very strong infield, a very strong defense, and if they can work off of each other, this should be a good game for them defensively.
Yeah, and for that infield, they've turned to 12 double plays already. It's been a great start to the season, especially for those 2 in the middle, Pearson Reebok and Travis Sanders. Those 2 turning 10 of those 12. But then you look now to Texas, right? And we're talking about how strong they are, and we're going to talk even more about it, but we're going to take a break real quick. And we'll be back with the rest of this pregame and the first pitch here at Daikin Park. You're listening to Baylor Baseball on the Baylor Lariat Radio.
Hey Bears, are you always the last to know about what's happening at Baylor? Are you left quiet in a group when talking about last week's game? Well, you haven't gotten your morning buzz yet. Did you know you can get your dose of current Baylor news every Tuesday through Friday straight to your inbox? The Baylor Lariat Morning Buzz e-newsletter provides you with breaking Baylor stories, local events, and in-depth sports coverage daily. You can be in the know on all things Baylor. If you aren't already buzzing, go to BaylorLariat.com. That's BaylorLariat.com and click the subscribe now to get your morning buzz from the Baylor Lariat. News for the students, by the students. We'll see you in your inbox.
Just a couple minutes from first pitch here in the Saturday night matchup between the Baylor Bears and the Texas Longhorns here at Daikin Park. And before the break, we were talking about Baylor, what they need to do to win, what we're looking at. But now let's go to the number 3 team in the nation, Texas Longhorns. And I think a big starting point for this team is to jump out early.
Absolutely, and you said it. The biggest idea here is preventing the comeback. Baylor yesterday found a great way to come from behind and fight back in a game that was close enough for them to claw into it. And what Texas does such a great job of is to separate so quickly and to gain that lead. They were off to a 4-1 lead in the third inning of yesterday's ball game against Coastal Carolina. And I think that's what separates their hitters so well from the rest, is that they're able to get those early runs quickly, get hot fast, and get on the board quickly. They ended that game with an 8-1 victory. There was no sight of a comeback for Coastal Carolina.
And so with that as well, obviously this lineup is unbelievable. When you see their stats, you see the numbers, and we watched them last night against Coastal Carolina, as you just said, and they looked unbelievable to our eyes, right? And they need to dig into that. They need to lean on that lineup. That overall, this team has a .341 batting average. And I think particularly they need to let those first 3 hitters in the lineup lead the way to win this ball game.
Absolutely. And those top 3 hitters you're speaking of, Mendoza, Tinney, and Robbins, a combined .397 batting average between them, 10 home runs, and 9 for 9 stealing. When those guys get on base, they're dangerous. They want to score runs, and they want to drive runs in. Those 3 guys are their leaders on this team, and when that top of the lineup comes around, you don't know what's going to happen next, because those guys are just that scary. Batting almost 400 combined, that's ridiculous for 3 guys. That's a really tough clip to beat.
And for Ethan Calder, who's going to be the Bears starter, he's had a great start to this season. Was their Friday night starter last year, now moved to Saturday. He's gone 8 2/3 innings without giving a run up. And now this is going to be the toughest test so far. He pitched against New Mexico State the first time, and then Purdue. And the guy I'm really looking to, that I think everybody is going to be looking to, is Aiden Robbins. And I think it's no secret. This is no secret insight that I have, besides the fact that he's just that good.
Absolutely. Hit for the cycle. One of only 2 Texas players to do that this century. Really impressive bat, really impressive fielding, all-around great player. He's definitely their leader here. Transfer from Seton Hall. He's looking to do damage here for the Longhorns.
Yeah, he was the first Texas player to hit for the cycle since C.J. Hinojosa back in 2015. So it's been 11 years. And we also saw, looking back at that game, made some great defensive plays as well. But now going into that, I'll send it back to Aiden with Baylor's starting lineup for this ball game.
Absolutely. Baylor's starting lineup in right field. We have Brady Janusek playing second base, as always, sophomore Pearson Reebok. At first base, Tice Armstrong. Travis Sanders is in the cleanup spot playing short. Behind the dish, we have Braden Buchanan. In left field, the man of the match last night, Hunter Snow. In designated hitter, this is his first appearance for the Bears, we have Robert De La Garza. At third base, we have Brighton Clements. And at center field, we have the graduate student, Ty Johnson.
Yeah, then in the field for the Texas Longhorns, Carson Tinney will be behind the plate, catching for the starter, Luke Harrison. At first will be Casey Borba. Second, Ethan Mendoza. Adrian Rodriguez is at short. Temo Becerra is at the hot corner. And then in the outfield, Ashton Larson will be in left. Aiden Robbins right down in center field. And then the freshman, Anthony Pack Jr., will be in right. And you mentioned Robert De La Garza making his first appearance this season for the Bears, the transfer from Odessa College, the junior from Eagle Pass, Texas. And what really stands out about his past, last season, he stole 20 bags. And I think that's a really big reason why he's going to be in the lineup today. Baylor, they tried to steal in the first inning, and Brady Janusek got picked off. After that, they did not steal a single base. So I think putting him, De La Garza, in the lineup, saying we need to get back to what we're best at, and that's being aggressive on the base paths.
Absolutely, and De La Garza, not only a great leg out there on the base paths, but a great bat. Named a JUCO All-American and a Region 5 All-Conference player, batting .415 last year for Odessa. Now, obviously, those JUCO pitchers aren't quite the same as what Texas is going to bring out here tonight. But De La Garza definitely has a solid bat on him, and he's looking to prove that he deserves a spot on this Bears roster.
So on the mound for the Longhorns, the lefty Luke Harrison, grad student from Friendswood, Texas, just southeast of Houston, went to Lutheran South Academy. Making his third appearance on the season. He's got 9 2/3 innings of work so far, giving up 3 runs on 9 hits, striking out 8, and walking only 3. Last time he was out, he was pitching that game that Aiden Robbins hit for the cycle. And we were looking at his pitch count in that game. Finished with only 53 after going, 90 in his first appearance?
Yeah, it's very strange. I'm not sure if he wasn't feeling good out there on the mound or what happened, but he hadn't allowed a run. He only had 4 hits on the day. He did have 2 runners on base, but still an odd occurrence to have one of your best starting pitchers come out of a game with such a low pitch count. Perhaps they were saving him for this weekend, but as far as I'm concerned, I'm stumped as to why they would pull him.
And the Bears lineup facing this lefty have gone to a more right-handed hitter heavy lineup. We know earlier in the season they did a really good job of mixing and kind of alternating right-handed batters and left-handed batters. Well, now looking at this lineup, you only got 3 guys that are lefty hitters, right? You got Pearson Reebok, you got Hunter Snow, and you got Ty Johnson that are lefties. And so I think very strategic move by Mitch Thompson, trying to give his team the best chance to win this ball game and to perform against an elite pitcher.
Absolutely, and Harrison's definitely not somebody you want to mess around with. Pitching a 3.05 ERA last year, 5-1 record as a senior. He knows exactly what he wants to do. He knows his pitches. He's experienced. He's been around as we are about to get ready for the first pitch.
First pitch to Janusek. Misses outside, ball one. Harrison listed as the number 56 starting pitcher in the nation by D1 Baseball as Janusek swings on top of that pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike, no outs. The night sky has fallen over Houston and Daikin Park. This one a ground ball, chopper to short, backhanded by Rodriguez. He fires, low throw, but it's snagged by Borba for out number 1.
Good play by Rodriguez there, off the long hop. Grabs that ball out of the air and delivers an accurate throw, a little bit low to Borba, but he had no problem scooping that one out of the dirt.
So now we'll get to see our first lefty-lefty matchup of the night. Pearson Reebok, the second baseman, stepping in to the left-handed batter's box, hitting .241 on the season. He shows bunt. He goes down the first baseline. Underhand toss with the glove by Harrison, and that will retire Pearson Reebok on 1 pitch.
Interesting call to lay on the bunt there. Good bunt too, but a glove flip from Harrison over to Borba retires him quickly. I think if he flips that ball over to his hand, he loses too much time, and I think Reebok beats out the throw there. But Harrison knew that he was dealing with a fast runner, and he flipped that over with the glove and made an accurate toss.
So now it's the first baseman, Tice Armstrong, who will stare at ball 1, misses just low. Armstrong 1 for 3. Also walked twice. His lone RBI was the game winner in the 10th inning. Check swing, but it's a called strike 1, backdoor slider. The 1-1. Upstairs, 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs, nobody on. Infield shaded to the left. 3 of them to the left side of the second base bag. First baseman Borba all by himself. 2-1 up and away. And a hitter's count to Tice Armstrong.
Yeah, hitter's count indeed. 735 slugging on the year for Armstrong. He's looking to lace this one into the gaps. Even though they're playing the shift, he's definitely looking to hit this down the third base line or into that left center gap.
Harrison deals. Swing and a miss. Tice Armstrong unable to connect, so it's a full count with 2 outs. Really hasn't showed off much of his power while away from Baylor Ballpark. Last night's RBI is first on an away game as he rips this one. It's snagged in the air by Rodriguez. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Luke Harrison and the Horns. And we'll get our first look at the Texas lineup when we come back. You're listening to Baylor Baseball on the Baylor Lariat Radio.
Stay informed and stay connected with Lariat TV News. Tune in to LTVN every Friday, your go-to source for everything happening on campus and around Waco. From breaking stories to exclusive interviews, we cover campus events, student life, sports updates, and more. By the students, for the students. Catch our latest broadcast every Friday afternoon on YouTube by searching Baylor Lariat TV News. Hey Bears! Are you a freshman or senior? Freshman and senior portraits are now being scheduled. Watch your Baylor email for more information on how to reserve your sitting.
Ethan Calder, the starter on the mound for the Bears, making his third start of the season. He's got a 0 ERA through 8 2/3 of innings of work, 5 hits allowed, 10 strikeouts to 3 walks. As he faces one of the most menacing do-ups in college baseball. Ethan Mendoza hitting .412. He leads things off. As the first pitch misses away, ball 1. And then on deck is the catcher Carson Tinney hitting .321. And then in the hole, the center fielder Aiden Robbins hitting .457. The 1-0 from Calder. This time a little too far upstairs, and it's 2-0.
The high changeup. Probably for the better that didn't fall into the zone. He might have crushed that out of the park.
Mendoza stares at another ball outside the zone, and it's a 3-ball, no strike count, no outs. Mendoza yesterday 1 for 5 against Coastal Carolina. Also had a run, and that's a 4-pitch walk to start tonight's game. So not ideal for Ethan Calder to start, but you got to roll with the punches. Now you got to go out of the stretch and continue to deal against this Texas lineup.
Yeah, fortunately, Texas is not a steal-heavy team. I wouldn't be too concerned, especially as a lefty pitcher, about anybody flying around the bases. But still something you need to be wary of. 3 for 3 on stolen base attempts is Mendoza this season.
That one called a strike, gets the lower third of the zone to Carson Tinney. Tinney, who went 2 for 5, along with a trio of Ks, as Calder throws back over to first, and Mendoza steps back in awkwardly.
Yeah, I don't think he was expecting that. Good pickoff move there from the lefty.
The 0-1 pitch. This one fouled straight back. It's going to end up back on the field right in front of the Texas dugout. It hit the ribbon board that was right in front of us and then went all the way back down towards one of the first couple rows and then worked its way back to the Texas dugout.
I'm still looking for my souvenir this weekend.
The 0-2 from Calder. This one ripped down the left field line, but it just a little too early as it's a foul ball. Another throw over to first, and Tice Armstrong having to lunge to make that catch, keep the ball in the infield.
Tice is such a good defensive first baseman, doing splits if he needs to even get that ball out of the dirt.
0-2, this one lifted down the right field line, back at the wall, and it's just foul.
I thought we were about to have a 2-0 lead for the Texas Longhorns right there. That ball was ripped down the line. Just cuts foul.
Carson Tinney trying to find his timing. Last foul ball, way too early on it. This time, just a little too late. Was a couple feet away from either hitting the wall or getting it over.
Yeah, and these foul lines are so tight to the outfield walls in right and left field. It's only a matter of feet. when it goes out of play over there.
So Calder gets set with the tan glove at his stomach. 0-2. Up and away, ball one. Bears wearing their green jerseys, gray pants with pinstripes, and that green cap with the gold bill. Texas wearing their white home uniforms, white caps with the burnt orange bill. This one lifted high, and it'll go foul on the right side. Tinney, last year an All-American by 4 of the 5 major polls. Catcher when he was at Notre Dame. As he hits this one high on the infield, Pearson Reebok moving to his left. He looks and he'll make the catch for the first down of the inning.
And a good at-bat there from Tinney. 7 pitches. And that really just goes to show the motto that Jim Schlossnagel brings to this Longhorn team. He preaches long at-bats will win games. He wants to tire these pitchers out on the mound. And Texas showed that in 2025, they had the longest pitch per at-bat ratio at 4.08 pitches per at-bat.
Ethan Calder throwing it back to first. And I think Ethan Calder has to be very pleased that the result of that at-bat was some weak contact, considering that Carson Tinney really barreled up a couple of those pitches.
Absolutely, but it doesn't get any easier here with Robbins.
Robbins hits one high down the right field line, but that one will twist and go out of play.
You really see the violence in every swing here with these Longhorn batters. They have an intent to get that ball out of the ballpark as fast as possible.
An 0-1 count, 1 out, and a runner on first. That one high and tight, backing off Aiden Robbins. Robbins, who's first on this Texas team in batting average, OPS, hits, RBIs, home runs, you name it. As he stares at that backdoor slider, and it's a 1-2 count.
Great pitch right there from Ethan Calder. He's been throwing a lot of fastball, a lot of changeup, and that slider totally caught Robbins off tempo.
Calder gets set, and he deals. This one, another pop-up. Pearson Reebok will give way for Brady Janusek, who makes the catch running forward for out number 2. So the last 2 hitters, 2 of some of the most dangerous hitters in this lineup, both with weak contact, go in the opposite field. The righties hitting to right field.
Yeah, this is exactly what you want to see if you're Ethan Calder right now. They're getting underneath it, which in our pregame report wasn't exactly what we wanted, but any out is a good out if you're the Baylor Bears right now against the first 3 batters of this Longhorn lineup.
Another throw over to first, but Mendoza back standing up. Adrian Rodriguez, the cleanup hitter for the Longhorns, hitting .316. Leads the team with 6 doubles. Another throw back over to first.
That time Mendoza was getting a little bit larger of a lead. He had to dive back in head first. Now a little bit shorter of a lead, not as confident after 2 straight pickoff attempts.
This one, a high chopper on the infield. Calder will try to make the play, and he'll just eat it. Oh, he throws it, and it gets by Buchanan. And both runners will advance a base. Now runners on second and third. And that one, Ethan Calder's going to want to get back.
Yeah, that's a very bad defensive play there by Calder. Trying to make something happen, and 2 rushed, 2 out of sorts. And that'll be the first hit of the day for the Longhorns, but What could have been an easy single and a force out at any base now leaves you with 2 runners in scoring position and first base completely empty against yet another dangerous Longhorn bat.
So Temo Becerra, who's hitting .345 early in this season. And he gets hit by the first pitch. And that will load the bases with 2 outs here in the bottom of the first.
You never want to see a guy get hit, but with first base open and 2 outs, bringing up the bottom half of this lineup a little bit less potent. Not the worst idea of all.
Sean Snedeker going to talk to his pitcher as well as Braden Buchanan and Travis Sanders. And Ethan Calder, some unfamiliar territory. He's been cruising the first 2 times he's come in to pitch this season. And now he's got his first earned run 90 feet away from scoring.
Yeah, nobody to blame but yourself there, but you just got to shake it off, look to the next batter. It's a force out at any base here. All you need is a ground ball, step on the bag, and you're out of this jam. Definitely not a spot you want to be in, but not the worst spot in the world either. Lefty on lefty matchup here.
First pitch to Anthony Pack Jr. misses away, ball 1. Anthony Pack listed as the 44th best freshman by perfect game. Had a great start to his collegiate career. This one ripped, and it gets into right field past the diving reach of Tice Armstrong. 1 run scores, and it gets by Janusek all the way to the wall. 2-run score. Here comes a third. And Anthony Pack driving in 3 runs, and the Longhorns jump ahead early.
And that's just not a good defensive play by Brady Janusek. You need to get in front of that ball and cover it. And the second error of the inning for the Bears. We talk about putting the ball in play and how that will force errors on the defense, but for a defense as strong as Baylor's, that's not what you expect to see out of them. Unfortunately, 2 in the first inning, and now they're down to a 3-0 hole fast.
So what's so uncharacteristic of the Bears, who've been playing solid defense all season, 2 costly errors in the first frame of this ball game. First pitch to Borba, called a strike.
And just like that, Calder now has 3 earned runs on the season. Not a spot you want to be in right now if you're Baylor, but still 2 outs.
This one a chopper, and it goes foul to the Baylor dugout. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and a runner on third. That's Anthony Pack Jr. Pitch to Borba. He unleashes but fouls one high and straight back.
A young fan makes the grab there with his glove. Ump calls timeout.
Calder gets his signal, and he deals the 0-2. Skipped in and blocked by Braden Buchanan, who yesterday was in the lineup as a designated hitter, while J.J. Kennett was wearing the protective gear yesterday. Here's the 1-2. Just misses as all the Baylor players taking a step towards their dugout. Thought that was strike 3 and out number 3.
And they're just looking for a way out of this inning. This is not the way you want to start this game. They're looking to set the tone differently here and get out of this first inning.
Calder deals. This one fouled right to the Baylor dugout. They'll have to dodge out of the way.
The quarter century mark already hit in the first inning here for Ethan Calder.
25 pitches, 15 strikes, 10 balls. That fastball in, called third strike. But 2 costly errors from the Bears puts them in a 3-0 hole as we are through 1 inning on day 2 of the Bruce Bolt Classic here in Houston. You're listening to Baylor Baseball on the Baylor Lariat Radio.
Hey Bears, are you always the last to know about what's happening at Baylor? Are you left quiet in a group when talking about last week's game? Well, you haven't gotten your morning buzz yet. Did you know you can get your dose of current Baylor news every Tuesday through Friday straight to your inbox? The Baylor Lariat Morning Buzz e-newsletter provides you with breaking Baylor stories, local events, and in-depth sports coverage daily. You can be in the know on all things Baylor. If you aren't already buzzing, go to BaylorLariat.com. That's BaylorLariat.com and click the subscribe now to get your morning buzz from the Baylor Lariat. News for the students, by the students. We'll see you in your inbox.
Well, Bears will try to crawl their way out of a 3-run deficit after a sloppy first inning from the defense. It'll be Travis Sanders leading things off, Braden Buchanan on deck, Hunter Snow in the hole. The first pitch misses outside, gets by Carson Tinney.
The Bears need to rally here. Obviously a very long game ahead of them. They're going to need to step it up defensively and pitching, but it starts here with the bats, getting guys on.
1-0, called a strike on the inner third to Sanders. Harrison only throwing 10 pitches in that first inning, while Calder threw 26. Harrison misses up and away.
Yeah,
2 balls, 1 strike.
Harrison definitely showing off the efficiency there in that first inning. Obviously a good sign from Baylor not to strike out in the first inning, but still, you don't want to let a pitcher get away that quickly in the first frame.
And that fastball again misses up and away from Harrison. Travis Sanders yesterday going 2 for 5, got a run, but on the other side also 3 strikeouts out of Baylor's 19 against Ole Miss pitching. 3-1 pitch. Misses outside, and it's a walk. And Travis Sanders will serve as the Bears' first base runner on the night.
And not a bad first base runner to have on. Sanders 5 for 5 with stolen base attempts. Obviously the lefty holding him on will persuade him otherwise, but still a dangerous threat. A good pair of legs. And this is oddly reminiscent to me of a certain 8th inning last night.
Low and inside for ball one to Braden Buchanan. As we had mentioned in the pregame, Brady Janusek yesterday got picked off in the first inning, and after that, it seemed the Bears did not want to steal a base as Elliott throws over, but Sanders lunges back in time. Another quick throw over. Kind of a cat and mouse game between Travis Sanders as he wastes no time taking that lead. Doesn't even wait for Harrison to get back on the rubber.
He wants to be in that pitcher's head, and he is. A little pump fake there the third time around just to see what Sanders is thinking.
Throw back over to first. Sanders returns safely. And there he is. He's already taken that primary lead.
I think that's smart. I think he really wants to get in that pitcher's head, distract him from what's going on at the plate, make him think about the first base runner more than the batter at the dish.
1-0 slider, called a strike at the knees to Braden Buchanan. Buchanan going 1 for 3 yesterday against the Rebels. Hitting .286 on the season. Pitch misses away. 2 balls, 1 strike, no outs. And Travis Sanders the runner on first. Harrison gets set. Looks over to first. He'll go back over towards Sanders. And he's already taken that lead before the ball is even getting back to Harrison.
Yeah, that's really a taunt. That's what that is he's just taunting the pitcher out there on the mound. He wants him to throw over. He's thrown more pickoff attempts than pitches the plate this at-bat.
And Sanders back in, standing up.
The Baylor faithful are booing Harrison on the mound here. They don't like it. I believe that's his 6th attempt this at-bat to pick Sanders off at first base.
Here's the 2-1 finally. Fastball, center cut, called a strike. And the count's tied up at 2-2. On the pitch. Inside, and the count runs full. Three-two. Line drive up the middle, and it's snagged on a hop by Rodriguez. His toss over to second in time to get Sanders, but no throw over to first, and an unbelievable defensive play from Adrian Rodriguez.
Yeah, I mean, first off, making that play to cover the gap between second and short, and then just getting that ball out of his glove. He bobbles it there for a minute. He's laying down, flat in his stomach, to be able to flip that ball out to the second baseman and even get 1 out against the speedy Sanders is a really impressive play.
And was probably a sigh of relief from Luke Harrison not having to deal with Sanders on the base paths as Hunter Snow takes a first pitch strike. Snow, as you said, player of the game last night. He went 1 for 5, but ended up with 4 RBIs, including monster 3-run home run as he shows bunt. And it's strike 2. Doesn't make any contact.
And they're playing him in a super deep shift down the first base line. The third baseman's playing, honestly, even deeper over than where the shortstop normally plays. If he can lay a bunt down that third base line, which is what he was trying to do.
As he swings and misses out in front, and it's a 3-pitch strikeout for Luke Harrison, his first K of the night. So now it's Robert De La Garza making his Baylor debut. The junior transfer from Odessa College. Hit 415 as he stares at strike 1 at the knees. He's named a JUCO All-American Region 5 All-Conference. (20 for 25 on stolen base attempts as he fouls the 0-1 pitch straight back, and he's down in the count, no balls, 2 strikes.
And Harrison, not really known for his strikeout stuff, but with Baylor, you don't want to see them become a creature of habit and fall back into that strikeout pattern again.
So 0-2 is popped up on the infield, and Adrian Rodriguez, no issue putting that one away as the Bears will strand a runner on as they still trail 3-0. So we head to the bottom of the 2nd inning. You're listening to Baylor Baseball on the Baylor Lariat Radio.
Hey there, Bears. Are you living your best life this year at Baylor? Well, we've got great news. The Baylor Roundup Yearbook has been right there with you, capturing those memories at every event. So don't forget to buy your 2022-23 Baylor Roundup Yearbook today and share your memories with friends and family for generations to come. But wait, did you already graduate? Don't worry, we've got you covered. We have yearbooks dating all the way back to 1896. So visit our website today at www.baylor.edu/roundup and order your copy. That's www.baylor.edu/ROUNDUP. Have a great year, Bears, and sick 'em.
Well, the Bears hoping for some better fortune and some better defensive play here in the 2nd inning. 2 errors leads to a 3-run bottom of the 1st for the Texas Longhorns. They have 3 runs on 2 hits. Bears no runs on no hits, 2 errors. Ashton Larson, the left fielder, will lead things off as Braden Buchanan having to run to and from the dugout with what looks like some technical issues. But it looks like we're ready to go. Lefty on lefty matchup. Larson hitting .350, making his 9th start of the season. And he'll look at strike 1.
This bottom of the Longhorn lineup, you think it gets easier, but it really doesn't. These guys still batting the 300s.
That 2nd pitch misses upstairs. 1 ball, 1 strike. Calder again, can't quite find the zone. And it's a 2-1 count. No outs, nobody on. Infield playing back. And Larson barely gets a piece, swung under it, and fouls it straight back. So it's a 2-2 count. A lot of orange and white in the crowd as 2-2 pitch is a dribbler down the first base line. Fielded easily by Tice Armstrong, and he takes it to the bag himself for a 3 unassisted putout.
Routine ground ball there for Tice. That's the key to our game right there. Get him to roll over balls. Let's flip it on to Tice. That time Tice does it himself, but we need to see more of that out of the Bears.
Now to bat, Presley Corville. Making his first start of the season. First start of his collegiate career. He looked at strike one, the freshman out of Lake Charles, Louisiana. He's played 2 games, both coming in the pinch hitter. He takes a big swing and a miss. Gets on top of the changeup.
Pitcher's count now for Calder. Still need to choose your pitch very wisely. Don't let anything slip over the plate here in confidence.
He kicks and deals. This one popped up in foul territory. Buchanan gives it a look, but it'll go out of play. Corville in his 2 appearances this season went 1 for 1 with a run against UC Davis on opening weekend, and then on Tuesday went 1 for 1 as well with an RBI against UT Rio Grande Valley. The changeup misses low and away. That was a pitch that Stefan Stahl really liked yesterday, gathering a couple of strikeouts on that same pitch. The changeup low and away against a righty hitter. It's the 1-2. This one popped up and it'll twist foul down the right field line.
These Longhorn batters continue to fight out long at bats even when they're down in the count. 35 pitches already for Calder. Only an inning and a third in. Definitely looking to drop that pitch count down a little bit now.
The 1-2 lined into the right center gap, and it's down. A 2-hopper to the wall. And he'll stop at second. It's a 1-out double, as Presley Corville has still not recorded an out as a collegiate player.
His first collegiate double as well. First collegiate extra base hit.
While he doesn't have a very big sample size, he's gotten the job done every time. Now 3 for 3, has a run, has an RBI, and now a double.
Great piece of hitting there.
So Calder will have to work out of the stretch once again. His first pitch to Mendoza misses away, ball 1. Mendoza led off this ball game with a 4-pitch walk. Another pitch misses the same spot, outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Two-0 ground ball over to second. Reebok makes the play, and he tosses it over to first for the second out of the inning. Pearson Reebok, who last season not the best defender at third base, but now since he's moved to second, he seems much more at home.
Yeah, and that's definitely a lot more of a comfortable position for most infielders. You have to have a very powerful arm to get that third to first throw accurately, and second base, whether it's flipping double plays from the bag or just tossing on to first, it tends to be a lot more routine at second.
Carson Tinney will stare at ball 1 inside. He popped up to Pearson Reebok last inning. This time, he gives this ball a ride in a straightaway center field. Ty Johnson running forward. He makes the catch and retires the side. So Presley Corville gets his first career double, but he'll be stranded right there as the Bears get out of the inning without giving up a run. They still trail this one 3-0. You're listening to Baylor Baseball on the Baylor Lariat Radio.
Hey Bears! Are you a freshman or senior? Freshman and senior portraits are now being scheduled. Watch your Baylor email for more information on how to reserve your sitting.
We are through 2 innings here on the Saturday night matchup between the Baylor Bears and Texas Longhorns. Leading things off this inning is Brighton Clements, who stares at strike 1 from Luke Harrison. Clements, the redshirt freshman out of Laredo, Texas. This one a ground ball over to third. Charging is Becerra. He pumps and fires it over to first in time to retire Clements.
Still only 1 strikeout through 2 1/3 for the Bears. Definitely improvement on that high strikeout number from last night, but still haven't really found solid contact yet, except for that line out by Armstrong straight to the shortstop, Rodriguez.
Yeah, and you gotta still feel worse about it just because of that first inning going awry as the first pitch misses low in the dirt to Ty Johnson.
Yeah, absolutely. That first inning definitely was a morale dropper, but
this one, slow roller over to second. Mendoza flips it and gets out number 2. So it's looking like it's going to be a quick inning for Luke Harrison. Once again, gets 2 ground balls. Still not too difficult for his defense as Brady Janusek takes strike 1.
And as this Bears lineup flips over, they need to find ways to get hard contact into the outfield. A lot of these balls they're getting contact on, but they're just rolling right over it.
Another called strike, this time up and inside. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and the base is empty. Brady Janusek up to bat. Blocked by Tinney. And that'll be ball 1. Janusek grounding out to short his first time up. Here's the 1-2 from Harrison. The slider misses outside, off the glove of Tinney. That's the second pitch that's gotten by the Texas catcher. Now, luckily for him, there has not been a runner on base, but that's something to look out for if the Bears get a runner on. As Tinney having to lunge for that pitch, missed far outside, and it's a full count with 2 outs.
Kudos to Janusek for not giving up a third quick at-bat, making Harrison fight his way out of this inning at least.
A payoff pitch for Harrison. In the dirt, ball 4. And as you said, a great at-bat from Brady Janusek, down 0-2, and does not bite at 4 straight balls and gets a free 90.
Good plate discipline there from the right fielder. Now with the heart of the order coming up, let's see if we can turn a run here with the 2-out rally.
First pitch to Pearson Reebok, misses inside, ball 1. The walk to Janusek, the second walk allowed by Harrison. Threw 4 balls to Travis Sanders last inning. 1-0. This time finds the zone after 5 straight balls. 1 ball, 1 strike, now 2 outs, and Janusek on first. Harrison missing that one up and away.
And it's not Harrison's that velocity that sits and wows you. It's his control of the plate, his ability to paint corners and deceive the batter with good tunneling of the changeup and slider.
Throw back over to first. Janusek gets back in standing up. Janusek tied for the team lead. 5 stolen bases. Done that in 7 attempts. The 2-1. That one's low. Throw over to second, trying to get Janusek, and he's in safely. with a team-leading stolen base, 6th stolen base. So it's now a 3-1 count. Runner in scoring position. 2 outs, and that's ball 4. Back-to-back walks allowed by Luke Harrison, and the Bears are threatening with 2 outs.
If there's any man on this team that can really rip a ball into that left field and into those Crawford boxes, I think it's Tice. As Max Wiener goes out to talk with his pitcher. But as I was saying, Tice really has been cold away from home today. And I think this is the perfect opportunity for him. Obviously, last night did have the game-winning RBI. But outside of that, he really hasn't had much power that he's known for. With 2 runners on, 2 outs, down 3-0, this is a great opportunity for him to lace a double, if not a home run, into those Crawford boxes right there. I know they're calling his name.
Yeah, Tyson Armstrong still looking for that first extra base hit outside of Baylor Ballpark. And Max Wiener, the pitching coach for the Longhorns, in his tenure here in Austin, the staff has adopted the identity, dominate the zone, right? They want to win those 0-0 and the 1-1 counts. They want to maximize that strikeout to walk ratio. Right now, it's not been particularly great for Luke Harrison, as Tice Armstrong swings under that first pitch and misses 0-1. But it's 20 balls to 23 strikes so far for Luke Harrison. Now with runners on first and second, 2 outs. Just misses the outer edge of the zone on that pitch, and it's a 1-1 count.
The Longhorn fans in attendance did not agree with that call.
Harrison going through a couple of signals with his catcher, Tinney. And his pitch misses up and away. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Great plate discipline from the Bears tonight, working themselves into hitters' counts. Only 1 strikeout through 2 2/3. This is what you want to see from the Bears.
Fastball this time paints that low and outside corner. And it's a 2-2 count. Harrison deals. Check swing, and Tice Armstrong goes around, and it's strike 3. And Luke Harrison, giving up back-to-back walks with 2 outs, strands them on first and second, and keeps it a 3-0 lead for the Longhorns. And you're listening to Baylor Baseball on the Baylor Lariat Radio.
Hey Bears, are you always the last to know about what's happening at Baylor? Are you left quiet in a group when talking about last week's game? Well, you haven't gotten your morning buzz yet. Did you know you can get your dose of current Baylor news every Tuesday through Friday straight to your inbox? The Baylor Lariat Morning Buzz e-newsletter provides you with breaking Baylor.
Bears strand two two-out base runners as they are still trailing in this ball game 3 runs to none. It'll be Aiden Robbins who flew out to right field his first time up. He'll get this inning started.
Robbins, arguably the most terrifying bat in this lineup. Obviously this cycle. Batting .457 coming into this matchup.
As he stares that looping curveball, paints that zone for strike 1.
Great pitch there by Calder.
Calder deals. Can't find that low and inside corner again. 1 ball, 1 strike to Robbins. Calder's pitch misses upstairs. Robbins, the Seton Hall transfer. He lines one down the right field line, but it is out of play and foul. 2025 All Big East first team. Led Seton Hall with a .422 average, 63 runs, 86 hits, and multiple other offensive categories. And he seems to be doing just fine in the SEC as he drives one foul down the right field line again.
Aiden Robbins, also on the preseason watch list for Player of the Year across collegiate baseball. Very highly touted player.
2-2, ground ball. High hop to Sanders, and he fields it cleanly and fires it over to Tice Armstrong for the first out of this inning.
But yeah, as I was saying, Robbins, highly touted recruit as well in the transfer portal. Obviously Seton Hall, not a school that's known too much for collegiate baseball, but he found a way to make a name for himself there, and now coming to one of the greatest programs in collegiate history, the most winning program in collegiate history here in Texas, and proving that he belongs along with the rest of this Longhorn lineup.
The first pitch to Adrian Rodriguez, called a strike. And you can believe that those poll voters have taken notice, and they are still watching Robbins very closely as he goes through the season. The 0-1 misses upstairs, and it's a 1 ball, 1 strike count.
Half-century mark crossed for Calder with that pitch.
50 pitches, 31 of them for strikes. He deals. Gets in at the knees, and that's a called strike. 1-2, 1 out. Bases are empty. And a 3-0 ball game in favor of the Longhorns. You're in the bottom of the 3rd inning. This one, another ground ball over to short, and Travis Sanders can't keep a hold of it as a hard turn by Rodriguez, but he will stay at first base. And some more defensive miscues for the Bears.
3 errors through 3 innings, extremely uncharacteristic for this Baylor defense, especially their infield, who has been so pristine defensively throughout the season. I don't know if it's the nerves of playing Texas or if it's just an off day, but these Bears have to figure out what it's going to take to convert these ground balls into outs. Calder's giving them great balls to field, and they have to work on that now.
First pitch misses up and away to Becerra, and that was Travis Sanders' first error of the season. Coming into today, 9 putouts, 33 assists, as well as turning 10 double plays. So 1 ball, no strikes to Becerra. Here's the pitch. up and away. And a hitter's count now to the right-handed redshirt senior out of Clovis, California. Sinker that time. Can't find the zone, so it's 3-0. Becerra, graduate of Stanford, spent the first couple seasons of his career. As that one gets by Braden Buchanan, but Rodriguez was already making a break for second, so he'll get in without any contest. That'll be ruled as a stolen base for Rodriguez.
But yet another questionable defensive play from the Bears there, as Buchanan can't hold on to the ball, transitioning it from glove to hand. Lucky that ball didn't get too far away from him, and Rodriguez didn't take third base.
This one, a dribbler off the end of the bat, goes foul. And poor defensive play is something that you really just can't afford. When you're playing a team as good as Texas, you gotta give everything. You gotta play your cleanest baseball if you want to compete and win. And Baylor's not started off on the right foot tonight.
Absolutely. And against Ole Miss last night, they looked stellar defensively. They went out there, they made every play, but I believe one error they had last night. And you could tell they wanted it out there every single play defensively. Clean, smooth transitions.
As the pitch from Calder misses up and away, and that'll be ball 4. Calder can't convert on the full count.
But as I was saying, clean, smooth transitions, double plays being turned defensively, really fighting for it out in the field so that their bats could turn it on later in the game and win that game. Right now it feels like both defensively and offensively, Baylor seems stagnant. They need to turn the switch. They need to figure out what's wrong. Flip a double play here, perhaps. Get themselves out of the inning and find some defensive momentum.
First pitch to Anthony Pack Jr. misses low and away. Runners on first and second. 1 out.
Pack Jr. is 1 for 1 today with a single. In the air by Brady Janusek that allowed him to take 2 bases, get all the way to third. Did not score, however.
So we took that second pitch strike. It's a 1-1 count. This one ripped, and it gets by Reebok into right center field. Rounding third is Rodriguez. He will score, and Becerra goes from first to third. It's an RBI single for Anthony Pack Jr. And the Longhorns lead this one 4-0. Anthony Pack Jr., the number 6 hitter in this lineup, and he's really getting that job done. Has driven in all 4 runs for the Longhorns tonight. Now runners on the corners with 1 out. Borba bunts down the first baseline. A run will score as Calder tosses it over to first and gets out number 2. So now it's a 5-0 ball game. That'll bring up Ashton Larson. Grounded out to first in the second inning. He stares at ball 1.
Another tough inning here for Calder.
As Larson takes a big hack, he can't connect on the slider. That's a 1-1 count. Larson, transfer from LSU, who won the national championship last year. Made 5 starts and appeared in 34 games. As that one skips in and gets by Buchanan, Pack will advance over to third base. That's ruled as a wild pitch for Ethan Calder.
Not the day Calder wanted on the mound. Looking to find more control. Can't quite seem to do it when it matters.
Now runner on third, 2 outs. As this one is driven, and it'll go foul down the left field side. Now it just seems that this game continues to unravel for the Bears. Just these tiny mistakes that end up making the biggest difference. The 2-1 from Calder, a ground ball over to Reebok, fields it onto Hops, and tosses it over to first for out number 3. But Anthony Pack, RBI number 4. And Casey Borba also bringing in another run, and the Longhorns extend their lead to 5. As we are through 3 here at Daikin Park, you're listening to Baylor Baseball on the Baylor Lariat Radio.
Hey there, Bears. Are you living your best life this year at Baylor? Well, we've got great news. The Baylor Roundup Yearbook has been right there with you, capturing those memories at every event. So don't forget to buy your 2022-23 Baylor Roundup Yearbook today and share your memories with friends and family for generations to come. But wait, did you already graduate? Don't worry, we've got you covered. We have yearbooks dating all the way back to 1896. So visit our website today at www.baylor.edu/roundup and order your copy. That's www.baylor.edu/ROUNDUP. Have a great year, Bears, and sick 'em.
We head to the 4th inning on this nightcap here at Daikin Park. Day 2 of the Bruce Bolt College Classic. Right before this game, UTSA took down Coastal Carolina 16-10, and then in the first game of the Saturday slate, Ole Miss taking care of business against Ohio State as Travis Sanders unleashes on this first pitch, but it'll go out of play. Bears needing a major comeback to try to get to 2-0 on the weekend. As Sanders stares at that 90-mile-an-hour fastball, misses away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Sanders 2 innings ago led off with a walk. As he lifts one high, and it'll be another foul ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Sanders hoping to get the ball rolling for the Bears once again.
The Longhorns made a defensive change. Anthony Pack Jr. no longer in right field, replaced by Jaden Duplantier, number 0. Or I apologize, Duplantier is in left field, replacing Ashton Larson.
As that slider can't find the zone, misses inside, and the count runs full to Travis Sanders. 3-2. Misses, and Travis Sanders reaches base for the second time tonight via the walk.
Baylor's going to rely on Sanders now to get in, score their first run of the game, and hopefully start a rally that can bring this team back into this game. 5 runs is not an impossible feat in the game of baseball, but it's going to take grit, it's going to take effort, and it's going to take every single bat in this lineup.
They're going to have to string together hits as that one gets by the diving reach of Borba into right field as Braden Buchanan gets a single and sends Travis Sanders all the way over to third. So the Bears trying to get the wheels rolling, string hits and base runners together. Now they have runners on the corners with no outs for Hunter Snow, who was in this exact same situation in the 8th inning last night.
Hunter Snow, if anybody can do it, he can. He hits for contact, he hits for power, he knows where the gaps are. He's ready to untie or to reach back into this game, bring the Bears some life.
As he'll stare at strike one.
One of the most confident freshmen on this Bears lineup.
And while the numbers don't really scream at you, he's really gotten a good number of clutch hits, especially last night as he takes a big swing and doesn't make any contact. So he's down in the count 0-2. And Braden Buchanan singled the first Baylor base hit of the night. Now the next step is to get that first run. Here's the 0-2. Foul to the screen. Hunter Snow trying to stay alive. Infield, that double play depth. Here's the 0-2. Ground ball up the middle. And they'll get Sanders in a pickle between third and home. Waving the base runners around, and he'll get tagged out, but Buchanan will advance to third. Hunter Snow will advance to second. It's a 1-5-2-6 fielder's choice.
Yeah, rundowns are always the most complicated plays to write down in your scorebook if you're keeping track with us at home. But the second rundown the Bears have been caught in this weekend. The first being Brady Janusek when he was caught stealing.
So big opportunity for Robert De La Garza, who dribbles one foul towards third base. In his first appearance as a Bear. Runners on second and third, 1 out. Righty hitter against the lefty throwing Harrison. That pitch just misses that low and outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. That one skips in and gets by Tinney. Buchanan racing for home, and he is safe.
Great heads-up baseball by Buchanan there.
And some great hustle by the catcher, the Bears catcher, and he beats the Longhorns catcher. And the Bears on the board. It's a 5-1 ball game.
Great hustle from Harrison there to cover the plate that fast. Did make a play at the plate, but Buchanan had him beat by a couple of steps and slid headfirst into home plate. Great hustle play, great heads-up baseball to get the Bears on the board. Bring some life back into this lineup.
And a big swing and a miss from De La Garza. It's now a 2-2 count. And Hunter Snow, the lone runner on third. Harrison likes the signal. And he deals. Misses low and inside, doesn't get De La Garza to bite, and it's a full count. These Baylor hitters doing a really good job of getting deep into these counts against Harrison. That one can't quite find the zone, and it's a one-out walk, and De La Garza reaches base for the first time as a D1 baseball player.
Great patience up there, fighting back from the 1-2 count. And now they're going to have a talk with him, as this is going to be the end of Harrison's night, it appears.
And Jim Schlossenagel has seen enough from his starter, Luke Harrison, and he will make the first call to the bullpen on this Saturday night matchup. So we'll return with our new arm. You're listening to Baylor Baseball on the Baylor Lariat Radio.
Stay informed and stay connected with Lariat TV News. Tune in to LTVN every Friday, your go-to source for everything happening on campus and around Waco. From breaking stories to exclusive interviews, we cover campus events, student life, sports updates, and more. By the students, for the students. Catch your latest broadcast every Friday afternoon on YouTube by searching Baylor Lariat TV News.
New pitcher on the mound for the Longhorns. It's the right-hander Max Grubbs, the senior from Arlington, Texas.
Yeah, Max is a 2.7 ERA. Pitched last night against Coastal Carolina. Gave up the only run the Longhorns allowed. He has 6 strikeouts on 6.2 innings pitched, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, and 1 hit by pitch.
As his first pitch to Brighton Clements in the dirt, blocked by Tinney. So he will inherit runners on first and third, and he'll end Luke Harrison's night going 3 1/3, giving up 1 hit. And as of right now, it is 1 run, but if either of the runners that are currently on score, that'll go to Harrison's stat line. Walked 5 and struck out 2 as another pitch is low. Stays with Tinney even though couldn't make the catch. And it's a 2-0 count. Infield shifted 3 to the left against the righty hitting Clements. That slider moving away, can't find the zone. And it's a 3-0 count to Clements.
And straight out of the bullpen, You can see the frustration on Tinney, holding up his arms, asking what's happening. He doesn't like the pitches from Grubbs at all.
3-0 misses up and inside, and the bases are loaded with one out for the Bears.
Only one hit this inning. It's pretty wild to think that we've now loaded the bases. The Bears now have a chance to tie this game with a swing right here. Obviously not their most notable power hitter.
And Ty Johnson, who's really struggled from the plate this season, came into today with a 174 average. That's 4 for 23, has 1 RBI and 2 extra base hits as the first pitch misses inside. And how we got to this point, Travis Sanders led off with a walk, and then Buchanan followed up with a single. Hunter Snow reached on a fielder's choice, and then 2 straight walks. Loads the bases. It's a 5-1 ball game with 1 out, as Ty Johnson gives no swing to the strike on that low and inside corner.
First strike of the day for Grubbs on 6 pitches. Took him a while to get there.
Double play will get the Longhorns out of the inning. Check swing, and the home plate umpire, Doug Williams, says he went around. So it's now a 1-ball, 2-strike count to Johnson. Grounded out to second last inning. It's the pitch from Grubbs. Way outside, and you look at the numbers, 6 balls to 2 strikes, but what's really been shocking from both of these Texas pitchers is just the amount of uncompetitive pitches that Baylor really hasn't had any intention of swinging. As this one, a 1-hopper to third, stepping on the back, throw over to first, not in time. Ty Johnson legging that one out, and it will be a 5 unassisted fielder's choice, and another run coming in for the Bears.
A 5-2 ball game makes this feel much more attainable. Hopefully the pitching can maintain the deficit, doesn't allow it to slip any further, but good job by Ty Johnson to get the first RBI on the board for the Bears.
So that brings up Brady Janusek, runners on first and second. Has to lean away from that first pitch, up and inside, ball 1. Janusek 0 for 1 today, ground out in the first, walked and stole second base in the third. This one skipped and blocked by Tinney.
Grubbs has come out here, only thrown 3 strikes, one of which was a questionable check swing call. Only 2 balls have actually touched the zone. His control is definitely something to watch so far.
Finds the inner third on that pitch. It's now 2-1 to Janusek.
He loops in the change up high.
Janusek with 5 RBIs on the season, looking to add to that total. Big swing and a miss, way out in front of that pitch in the mid-80s. And it's a 2-2 count, 2 outs, and 2 runners on. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. And Janusek down on strikes, and that will strand 2 runners, but the Bears strike for 2 runs, trying to close this gap. They still trail 5-2. And this is Baylor Baseball on the Baylor Lariat Radio.
Hey Bears! Are you always the last to know about what's happening at Baylor? Are you left quiet in a group when talking about last week's game? Well, you haven't gotten your morning buzz yet. Did you know you can get your dose of current Baylor news every Tuesday through Friday straight to your inbox? The Baylor Lariat Morning Buzz e-newsletter provides you with breaking Baylor stories, local events, and in-depth sports coverage daily. You can be in the know on all things Baylor. If you aren't already buzzing, go to BaylorLariat.com. That's BaylorLariat.com and click the subscribe now to get your morning buzz from the Baylor Lariat. News for the students, by the students. We'll see you in your inbox.
New pitcher in for the Bears. It's the righty sophomore out of Monroe Township, New Jersey. Zach Wallace making his 5th appearance on the season.
Yeah, Zach boasts a 1.08 ERA, only 7 hits allowed, only 1 earned run, 9 strikeouts, 5 of which came against Oregon State. Very impressive resume so far through the season for Wallace. Let's see what he can do against the Longhorns.
This one a horn ground ball blocked by the third baseman Clements. He slings it over to first. And it's 1 pitch, 1 out for Zach Wallace.
That's exactly what we talk about. Ground balls, quick outs, get in and out of innings fast. Don't let the deficit grow. Allow the bats to come back. The bats are finally starting to do something. Only 1 hit last inning, but it's an improvement from no hits. And a lot of plate control and plate discipline from those guys to draw a lot of walks.
Mendoza shows bunt, pulls back, but it's a called strike. And Wallace will end Calder's day. Most frustrating outing so far this season. 3 innings pitched, giving up 5 runs, 3 of them earned on 4 hits, as well as a pair of walks, as Mendoza lifts one down the right field line. Janusek has the room and makes the catch about 3 feet away from the wall for out number 2.
3 pitches, 2 outs for Wallace, showing the efficiency that he can pitch with. Heart of this Texas order does step up now. They're going to test exactly what Zach Wallace is made of.
Yeah, Wallace has been very efficient so far this season, especially his last time out against Stephen F. Austin, as his first pitch to Tinney misses low. He went 3 scoreless against the Lumberjacks, throwing only 25 pitches. That lowered his ERA to 1.08, which is where it stands right now, as that one fouled back. That's where it stood before those first 2 outs.
He's reached an even 1 with those first 2/3 of an inning he's already pitched.
The 1-1 pitch to Tinney. Front door slider doesn't get the call. Tinney 0 for 2 today already. A pop-up to second base, a fly out to center field. And that one hits him in the elbow. And that's the first hit batter by Zach Wallace this season. And that'll put a runner on with 2 outs. And stepping into the right-handed batter's box is Aiden Robbins. 0 for 2. Fly out and a ground out. But always a dangerous hitter. Slider inside, called a strike on the edge of the zone. It's 0-1 to Robbins. Wallace gets set, and he deals. This one popped up, and it'll go foul. Zach Wallace has been one of the more exposed arms out of the bullpen this season, already throwing 8 1/3 coming into this game, now at an even 9 innings. As this one, foul tip off the end of the bat, dribbles over to the Baylor dugout. He's gone 2+ innings in his last 3 appearances. He went the 3 scoreless against SFA and then 2 1/3 against Oregon State. And 2 innings against Texas State a week and a half ago. Here's the 0-2 to Robbins. Fouls another one off the end of his bat, trying to stay alive.
Doing a good job here to fight off what Wallace is throwing him.
Wallace gets set. Does his little squat. This one skipped and blocked by Buchanan. Zach Wallace with his somewhat unorthodox setup motion. Once he puts that ball in his glove, there's a little bit of a squat before he goes back upright. Does it right there. And then he delivers. Swing and a miss.
Great curveball.
Curveball dropping low and away, and Aiden Robbins unable to put a good swing on it as he goes down on strikes and keeps this a 5-2 ball game. As we head to the 5th inning, you're listening to Baylor Baseball on the Baylor Lariat Radio.
Stay informed and stay connected with Lariat TV News. Tune in to LTVN every Friday, your go-to source for everything happening on campus and around Waco. From breaking stories to exclusive interviews, we cover campus events, student life, sports updates, and more. By the students, for the students. Catch our latest broadcast every Friday afternoon on YouTube by searching Baylor Lariat TV News.
Max Scrubs back out on the mound for the Longhorns. Now a 5-2 ball game. Bears last time up to bat put up those 2 runs on 1 hit, but they did leave 2 on. First pitch to Pearson Reebok, called a strike on the upper portion of the zone. Reebok reached base for the first time tonight back in the 3rd inning with a walk. This one, a hard line drive, pushed down by Becerra, and he will make the play over to first.
Great play by Becerra there. was about to sneak underneath his glove, but instead of trying to catch it out of the air, he patted it down with his glove, pinned it, picked it, and threw it over to first. Great defensive play.
Yeah, on low line drives like that one that go right at your feet, your first instinct is to make the catch in midair. And you really got to realize once it's not in your glove, you got to make that throw over. You got to pivot and pick the ball up and make that throw across the diamond.
Absolutely.
First pitch to Armstrong misses the zone. Here's the 1-0. And the front door slider freezes up Armstrong. It's 1-1.
Such a tough pitch when it looks like it's about to come and hit you in tunnels at the last minute.
Yeah, and Armstrong's a guy with a longer swing, likes to hit the balls outside of the zone. Is this one a dribbler down the third base line? And it'll go just foul. It was fair about 75% of the way, but too much spin going to the left. So it's now a 1-2 count as Armstrong will have to walk back to home plate. A redshirt senior out of Magnolia, Texas. Not too far from here. Could be considered in the greater Houston area. The 1-2 pitch. Fouls this one straight back. The 1-2 swing and a miss. Slider going low and away out of the zone, and Tice Armstrong unable to make some contact, and he goes down for out number 2.
Second strikeout of the day for Tice. He's just looking to make some contact, make something happen. Hopefully a 2-out rally can brew here, as Travis Sanders is the only man. The Longhorns have yet to not get out.
First pitch, a slider on the inner third, called a strike. And even though he's hitting cleanup today, he's basically done the job of leadoff hitter. He's getting on base, and he's starting these rallies for the Bears as he takes a big hack and swings under the fastball. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and nobody on base. Here's the offering. And that pitch just misses the zone. Everybody on the field thought that was the final out of the inning, but they'll have to wait for another pitch. Here's the 1-2 from Grubbs. Misses in the dirt, and that's a 2-2 count. It's been a tough zone from Doug Williams. We've seen both teams now think they had the final out of the inning on a strike 3 call, but we'll have to wait another one as this one fouled to the backstop as Sanders trying to stay alive.
Great fight from Sanders out here. Looking to draw his 3rd walk of the day. He's not giving the Longhorns any easy outs. This will be the 6th pitch of this at-bat.
He's been contagious for the Bears so far. Here's the 2-2. Ground ball up the middle, and it's off the glove of Mendoza into left field. And that's a 2-out single for Travis Sanders. 3rd time he's reached base tonight.
Great piece of hitting there. Hitting into the shift, but still getting past the diving glove of Mendoza, who is playing behind second base. And it just dribbles out into left field. And Sanders eludes the out yet again.
Now Grubbs will have to pitch out of the stretch with the runner on first. His first pitch to Buchanan misses low, ball 1. Buchanan playing against his hometown team, the redshirt sophomore out of Austin, Texas. And he'll look at strike one, called at the knees.
And I wonder how Grubbs' confidence is affected with that runner on. Last inning, throwing a lot of balls with runners on, playing out of the stretch. From the windup, he looked very confident for the majority of this inning. But now with the runner.
Throws back over to first, but Sanders gets back in safely, not wasting any time like he did back in the second inning. Already back and his primary leadoff. This one, a slow ground ball, speared by Becerra, moving to his left, and makes the throw across his body for out number 3. Bears get a 2-out single from Travis Sanders. They can't cash in for anything. It's still a 5-2 ball game as we are halfway through. We're heading to the bottom of the 5th, and you're listening to Baylor Baseball on the Baylor Lariat Radio.
Hey Bears, are you always the last to know about what's happening at Baylor? Are you left quiet in a group when talking about last week's game? Well, you haven't gotten your morning buzz yet. Did you know you can get your dose of current Baylor news every Tuesday through Friday straight to your inbox? The Baylor Lariat Morning Buzz e-newsletter provides you with breaking Baylor stories, local events, and in-depth sports coverage daily. You can be in the know on all things Baylor. If you aren't already buzzing, go to BaylorLariat.com. That's BaylorLariat.com and click the subscribe now to get your morning buzz from the Baylor Lariat. News for the students, by the students. We'll see you in your inbox.
Welcome back to the bottom of the 5th here in Daikin Park in lovely Houston, Texas. Zach Wallace still on the mound for the Bears as he will face off against 4, 5, 6 Rodriguez, Becerra, and Anthony Pack Jr. But first stepping into the dish is the lefty, Adrian Rodriguez, playing short tonight. Time is called by the catcher. Appears to be another pitch comm issue with Braden Buchanan. Quick jog. The dugout and back. Seems to have the issue resolved. Home plate umpire Doug Williams says play ball. Here's the first pitch from Wallace. Looked at high for a ball. Rodriguez ready in the box. Another pitch looked at high and away. 2 balls, no strikes to the shortstop from Flower Mound, Texas. Strike called across the middle for Wallace. Brings the count to 2-1.
Yeah, we've seen from Wallace, especially in this at-bat, kind of speed that you don't quite get from Ethan Calder.
As that ball is fouled just to the left into the netting. Count evens out at 2.
Yeah, he's been throwing a couple fastballs in the low 90s, and the Baylor starter Calder not quite reaching there. He kind of topped out around 88 miles an hour in this ball game.
Pitch is swung on and hit into left field. Snow is under it. Routine fly ball for him. And that's the first out of the inning for the Bears.
And Rodriguez gave that ball a good ride. He did a good job of staying back in the zone. That pitch, a fastball in the outer part of the zone, but just swinging a little too low, getting just under the ball and getting enough air under it for Hunter Snow to run to his right and make the first out of this inning.
Yeah, pretty routine fly ball for Hunter out there. A good piece of hitting for Rodriguez nonetheless, but pretty close to Snow's left. As that ball is called for strike one on the outer half of the plate to Tamo Becerra. Tamo Becerra pops that one straight up. It's going to be on the edge of the infield. Reebok's calling. He has it. And that'll be out number 2.
Yeah, good job by the infield. Just being able to communicate. That ball could have gone either to Tice Armstrong or Pearson Reebok, but Reebok gives Armstrong enough time to take a step away and give him the room to make the catch and get out number 2.
Yeah, and simple laws of the infield. Shortstop takes priority overall, but after that, second base has control. As that ball's taken outside by Anthony Pack Jr. And Reebok asserted that control, made sure Tice knew that it was his ball. He had it. Covers it up neatly, and it's a quick 2 outs for the Bears in the bottom of the 5th. As that ball's fouled back into the netting. Late on the fastball there, 91 miles per hour from Wallace.
And Reebok, he does a very good job of controlling the right side of the infield, especially on these pop-ups. Second pop-up he's caught today, has made a couple of good plays as well on the ground.
That ball's called outside and away. 2-1 count. Hitters count for Anthony Pack Jr. That ball even further outside and away. 3-1 count now to the freshman from Lakewood, California. That ball's lined into left field. Quick step over to his right, and Hunter Snow is under it. 1, 2, 3, go the Longhorns. The Bears still trail 5-2, but they have 12 outs to make something happen. Stay with us here on Baylor Lariat Radio. We'll be right back with more Baylor Baseball.
Stay informed and stay connected with Lariat TV News. Tune in to LTVN every Friday, your go-to source for everything happening on campus and around Waco. From breaking stories to exclusive interviews, we cover campus events, student life, sports updates, and more. By the students, for the students. Catch our latest broadcast every Friday afternoon on YouTube by searching Baylor Lariat TV News.
New pitcher on the mound for the Longhorns as we come into the top of the 6th. Righty Michael Winter. Jeffrey, what do you have on Winter?
Yeah, Michael Winter, the freshman out of Prairie Village, Kansas, the number 35 ranked freshman in college baseball by perfect game, making his 3rd appearance on the season. He's gone 3 even innings of scoreless baseball. Last time he pitched was last Friday against Michigan State, going 1 scoreless inning, giving up 2 hits and getting 1 strikeout on 14 pitches.
As that ball's fouled back into the right by lefty Hunter Snow. Snow's had a bit of a cold day today. Did get a run. Did come across as a run, I should say, in the 4th. Got on base out of the fielder's choice. As that ball's check swing to the 3rd baseman, playing in the shift where the shortstop normally is. Hunter Snow runs it out, but the first base umpire calls him out by a step.
Yeah, what an awkward play by Hunter Snow. Check swing, and it's a soft ground ball over to where the shortstop normally is, but it's Temo Becerra, the one who is playing.
Well, I believe that actually is
that
Adrian Rodriguez playing at shortstop. They have Temo Becerra playing on the opposite side of the second base bag, where the shortstop would play in the shift right now.
Yeah.
A very unusual shift from the Longhorns here. As De La Garza is pinch hit for by number 45, John Younes from Waco, Texas, the hometown kid. As that ball is called low and inside. 1-0 count. Bunt attempt by John, but it is popped way up into the stands and out of play. 1-1 count.
Yeah, and John Ewens is not a guy that normally is bunting. He's a guy who likes to swing for power, but he's purely bunting because of that shift.
That ball is left high. Good call by Ewens. 2-1 count. As the Longhorns stay in this shift against all these lefty hitters, Ewens is trying to bunt opposite that and get on base against the shift as that ball is fouled straight back. 2-2 count to the pinch hitter.
Yeah, John Ewens trying to find some consistency at the plate in his 9th game played. He's only started 5, the .222 average.
That ball is fouled straight back again. Count remains 2-2. Yeah, Ewens has had an average start to his campaign this year. The redshirt sophomore is definitely looking to improve as the season continues. Hopefully he could break through right here for the Bears as Winter steps off the bump. Takes a quick second. Now back on. Here's the pitch. Taken inside. The count's full.
Yeah, John Ewens yesterday pinch hit for Braden Buchanan. Went 1 for 2. Also struck out against the Rebels as well.
Winter steps off the mound again. Now back on the rubber. Time called by the umpire. Pitch clock violation, and that's ball 4. And Ewens gets first base via the pitch clock violation. After stepping off the rubber, he was off the rubber during the time duration that you need to be on the rubber, and that caused the pitch clock violation. You need to be set by a certain time, and he was not. And due to that slight inconvenience to the Longhorns, John Ewens is now at first base with a free pass.
And Jim Schlossenagel not happy, giving home plate umpire Doug Williams a piece of his mind. But as he comes back to the dugout, Max Weiner will walk out to the mound, and it looks like they're going to be changing the pitch comm. I think that might have been what caused the miscommunication and the delay with the pitch for Texas. Just bad communication with the technology.
Yeah, that's one of the downsides of having such amazing technology nowadays, is that if it backfires and you have a young freshman pitcher like Winter out there who maybe doesn't remember every sign in a big game like this, he gets a little lost out there. He gets flustered. He steps off the rubber. He forgets the rule. There's a pitch clock behind him. And the next thing you know, he allows a base on balls to his second batter he faces.
Yeah, Winters in high school, he was that guy for Shawnee Mission East High School. As a senior, had a 7-0 record, a .11 ERA, 100 strikeouts.
Wow.
In 62 2/3 innings.
Wow.
He was the Kansas 6A Pitcher of the Year.
As that ball drops, the bottom fell right out of that one to Brighton Clements. He's down in the count, 0-1. Second pitch is taken high in the strike zone for strike two.
Yeah, Winters also the Prep Baseball Kansas Player of the Year. He helped lead his team to 3 regional titles. That's the kind of stats you're going to have when you get the call to go to Austin for one of the best programs of all time, if not the best program.
Brighton Clements way out ahead of that one. That is strike 3. And Michael Winter racks up his first strikeout of the day.
Now, Michael Winter doing a good job of mixing up his pitches and moving latitudinally. That makes sense. If I pronounce that correctly. Working inside the zone and then just moving that ball, having that slider drop out of the zone.
Movement. Yeah.
Yeah. And go low and away and induce that swing and a miss.
Time called by the umpire as the catcher, Carson Tinney, is going to go out and talk to the pitcher, Michael Winter. Home plate umpire Doug Williams seems to have some kind of problem. It may be due to the fact that Michael Winter keeps stepping off of the rubber. Texas faithful are not happy with Doug Williams right now. Runner still on first base, John Yunes. As Ty Johnson's up to the bat as he swings and misses at a ball that is foul tipped off the catcher. Count is 0-1 now to Johnson. Johnson only batting 160 this year. Definitely not the year he's looking to have. 4 hits on 25 at-bats as that ball is left over his head and high. 1-1 count to the center fielder. Ewan's not a guy known for running. He shouldn't pose any threats at first base right now to Winter. His main priority is the batter at the plate. Strike 2 called in the upper half of the zone.
And for the Bears, it just seems like they start to get competitive too late in these at-bats and too late in these innings. You get guys on base with 2 outs, and now Ty Johnson's going to have to be reeling after going down in the count 1-2.
And that is strike 3 as Johnson swings at the changeup that just drops down in the zone way too early on that swing. And the Bears go down, leaving the runner stranded. Stay with us on Baylor Lariat Radio for the bottom of the 6th between the Bears and the Texas Longhorns.
Stay informed and stay connected with Lariat TV News. Tune in to LTVN every Friday, your go-to source for everything happening on campus and around Waco. From breaking stories to exclusive interviews, we cover campus events, student life, sports updates, and more. By the students, for the students. Catch our latest broadcast every Friday afternoon on YouTube by searching Baylor Lariat TV News.
Welcome back to Baylor Lariat Radio as we bring you to the bottom of the 6th. Longhorns bats coming in to this inning. We have 7, 8, 9. Casey Borba. Jaden Duplantier replaces Ashton Larson. And we have Presley Corville. As that ball is called for strike 1 in the lower half of the zone. Zach Wallace still out pitching for the Bears. He's been in the driver's seat since he came into this game in the 4th inning, only allowing 1 base runner a hit by pitch. As that ball is lined into left field, and it will drop in and get past Hunter Snow into the corner. As Casey Borba rounds first and gets into second with a stand-up double.
And just a great hit by Casey Borba. That one, a slider pretty much falling down the middle of the zone. And it's almost a batting practice swing, right? It's textbook, and he's able to drive it into that left center gap. And that's a beauty.
Yeah, he let that pitch hang for too long. He was trying to tunnel it inside and have it drop out. He tunneled it too far inside and had it drop middle. And Borba made him pay for it. As in steps Jaden Duplantier for his first at-bat as he shows bunt, pulls back, and that is ball 1.
Yeah, Jaden Duplantier, a guy who's played now in all 10 games for the Longhorns, still has no start. He's been a pretty consistent guy, just coming in as a defensive sub or a pinch hitter for any of these outfielders.
As that ball is bunted straight back over the netting and out of play. Count goes even at 1. Corners are in, preventing the bunt. As he shows bunt again, and that ball's dropped straight to the pitcher. Wallace on to first, and he bobbles it. Pearson Reebok cannot hold on.
Yeah, it was textbook defense from Baylor on that bunt. When Zach Wallace, he came in trying to field it. Tice Armstrong was also breaking in, so you got the second baseman, Pearson Reebok, going over to cover first, but just a bad throw by Wallace, skips in and just hits Reebok in the chest. He's unable to come up with it as Duplantier reaches first and puts runners on the corners.
As that is the second error on the day listed to a pitcher. This one listed to Zach Wallace for the poor throw to Pearson Reebok. As that ball is fouled out of play by Presley Corville. Runners in the corners now for Wallace. Nobody out. Wallace trying his absolute best to keep the Bears in this game for as long as possible against the number 3 ranked Longhorns. As he's out. Duplantier caught stealing second base. What a throw from Braden Buchanan. And what a tag from Travis Sanders.
Yeah, that is a great throw by Braden Buchanan. He just cannons that ball, skips it on one hop to Travis Sanders, who's able to get the speedy Duplantier out.
So that is our first out of the bottom of the 6th. Still a runner on third base, Borba. One pitch is popped straight up to shallow center field. Ty Johnson running on. It will be Brady Janusek, the right fielder, who cuts him off and grabs it. Borba, no intentions of tagging as that ball barely left the infield. And quickly, what was a runners on the corners, no out jam has now flipped to 2 outs, runner on third. However, the lineup has also flipped. That means Ethan Mendoza is up, and he's looking for his first hit of the day. So a dangerous part of the lineup to be in with any runner in scoring position. Let's see how the Bears work out of this one. First pitch from Wallace. Looping curveball outside of the zone.
Yeah, going back to that last out, we've heard time and time again about how athletic Brady Janusek is, and we've seen it on the base paths, but we haven't seen him have to make too many plays out in the field, and we really got to see his speed on that play, going all the way from straightaway right.
That ball is left in the dirt. Ball 2.
And he basically ran about 20 feet away from that infield dirt, having to track that ball down that if Pearson Reebok was playing in his normal spot, would have normally been able to make, but just a great show of athleticism by Brady Janusek.
Absolutely. That ball's taken high, ball 3. Mendoza has worked himself into a good count. Most likely going to see back-to-back challenge pitches here from Zach Wallace. Strike called on the inner half of the plate. Mendoza thought it was inside as he bends away from it, but it clips the inside half of the zone with the 89-mile-per-hour fastball. Count is now 3-1. Hitter's count for the leadoff man for the Longhorns. That pitch is left high. Ball 4, and runners are back on the corners with 2 outs. So the Notre Dame transfer and arguable best catcher in the nation, Carson Tinney, steps up to the dish. He's looking to create some more separation between the Bears and the Longhorns as we go into the final 3 frames of this game. Sean Snedeker will come out and have a talk with Zach Wallace in this tough situation.
Yeah, Carson Tinney, ranked as the number 3 catcher in the nation by D1 Baseball, was named a preseason All-SEC second team, and he is just a fantastic hitter.
A contender for the Golden Spikes as well this year. Not the guy you want to see come to the dish with 2 runners on in a game that you're fighting to keep it a close ball game.
Yeah, and really, for the Bears to stay in this game, you just got to play clean baseball. Because right now, Texas is not beating them with their skill or power. It's by Baylor's errors and miscues.
As that first ball is outside. Count moves to 1-0. Second pitch, check swing, no go, ball low, 2-0.
That's just a great slider from Zach Wallace. He's done a good job of comboing that with his fastball, and he lets that slider just drop out of the zone at the last second.
That pitch is called in the inside half of the zone for a strike.
And there's the fastball, right? He's working that lower part of the zone. Last pitch, a slider that doesn't hit it this time. He's going with the fastball that's hitting at the knees.
Pickoff attempts at first base. No tag applied by Tice Armstrong. As Ethan Mendoza is back in easily. Wallace throws, check swing, no go. 3-1 count to the Golden Spikes candidates.
Yeah, Texas has got a couple of those. That's just a testament of how good they are as a program and how good they are at recruiting top-tier talent.
As that ball's fouled straight back into the netting. Count moves full. Runner on first, Ethan Mendoza, will be going on the pitch. Big payoff pitch here for Zach Wallace and the Bears. Runner goes, ball's popped straight up and out of play down the first base line. Count remains full. Runner will still go. Tension still very much thick.
Yeah, and you just got to be competitive, but you can't give him a center cut pitch. I want to see probably one of those fastballs low in the zone. That's the pitch that he's been able to command is the best.
That ball is hit to the shortstop Sanders. 6 on to 3. Bears work their way out of the jam. It is still a 3-run game here at Daikin Park. Stay with us for the bottom 3 frames of this game as the Bears look to fight back against the Longhorns. This is Baylor Lariat Radio.
Hey there, Bears. Are you living your best life this year at Baylor? Well, we've got great news. The Baylor Roundup Yearbook has been right there with you, capturing those memories at every event. So don't forget to buy your 2022-23 Baylor Roundup Yearbook today and share your memories with friends and family for generations to come. But wait, did you already graduate? Don't worry, we've got you covered. We have yearbooks dating all the way back to 1896. So visit our website today at www.baylor.edu/roundup and order your copy. That's www.baylor.edu/ROUNDUP. Have a great year, Bears, and sick 'em.
Welcome back. The bottom 3 frames of this inning, or this game, I should say. At the Bruce Bolt College Classic, Michael Winter, freshman, still on the rubber here, facing off against the top of the order for the Bears. They desperately need to cash in here if they want to have any chance of fighting back into this close ball game. Defensively, a little bit of a shaky inning last, as Brady Janusek cuts right through that ball. Count is 0-1. But they've held the Longhorns scoreless since the 3rd. As that ball's fouled back.
Yeah, and I got to give all the props to Zach Wallace. He's been the most consistent arm out of the pen for the Bears, and he's given up only 4 base runners so far, got himself out of a jam in the last half inning, and he's really the reason the Bears are still in this game.
That ball is hit right to the third baseman. Slow dribbler. And Janusek beats out the throw from Tamo Becerra. That's going to be an infield single, and your Bears have their 3rd hit of the day.
Well, we were talking about Brady Janusek showing off that speed last half inning. Now we're back to seeing that speed on the base paths. Very few guys in the Big 12, very few guys in the country, especially freshmen, have that kind of speed. Brady Janusek, just a great athlete and showing off those legs.
And for what has been a very slow hitting day for the Bears, just their 3rd hit through 7 innings. They desperately needed that as that ball loops in for a strike to Pearson Reebok.
Yeah, and you really need the first third of this lineup to do their jobs, right? You need guys like Brady Janusek and Pearson Reebok to get on base, but you also really need Tice Armstrong to put them across home plate. He's 0 for 3 today with 2 Ks.
As that ball skips in the dirt in front of home plate. Count is even at 1. If I'm Brady Janusek and the steal call is on here, I have to be moving because they need runners in scoring position here. I would not be shocked if they call it. He shows bunt, pulls back. Reebok gets the call. Count is 2-1 to the second baseman.
Yeah, and you really can't be scared if you're on the base paths. As you said, they need any advantage they can, and they need to take advantage of their strong suit, and that's their athleticism, especially with how young this roster is.
That ball's way high and outside. Count moves to 3-1. A great hitter's count here for Reebok.
Yeah, Winter's really going to have to recenter himself. A couple of uncompetitive pitches, now putting himself in a hole against Pearson Reebok, who's a very good contact hitter.
Check swing, did not go. Ball 4. And the Bears have 2 runners on with nobody out, bringing up arguably their 2 most dangerous hitters in Armstrong and Sanders.
Yeah, and it's time to get the job done. Right now, Travis Sanders today has basically done the job of a leadoff hitter with getting on base and being the first one to get on base in an inning. But now Tice Armstrong coming up. You got to drive these guys in. He did it in the 10th inning last night. Now it's time to do it here.
That ball taken high towards the chin. 1-0 on some chin music from Michael Winter.
And that pitch wasn't particularly close, but there have been numerous close pitches throughout this ball game. A couple close pitches from Winter and the home plate umpire, Doug Williams, not giving these pitchers a whole lot. He's not widening that zone. He's being very strict, and some of these Texas faithful, they're not happy. We've seen on numerous occasions some disapproving groans, some gasps.
But in the same sense, only 8 hits combined for both teams, especially coming from a team like Texas. As Schlossenegger comes out of the dugout, he's going to make a pitching change here. He's not liking what he's seeing from the freshman, allowing 2 runners on. Stay with us here on Baylor Lariat Radio as we will come right back from this pitching change. Welcome back to the top of the 7th. Pitching change in the mound. We have junior lefty Hayden LeFew coming on to the rubber to face off against 3 righties. Due up. Tice Armstrong, Travis Sanders, and Braden Buchanan, first of which Tice, the Tice is right Armstrong, looking to really show that he can make it happen in away games. Here's the pitch. That ball is taken for a strike. Count moves to 1-1 from the ball that Michael Winter left to Hayden. Tice wiggles the bat. LeFew ready. Here's the pitch. That ball's low. Count moves to 2-1.
Yeah, limited sample size for LeFew. Has only pitched once this year, going 2/3 of an inning. Last Saturday against Michigan State. Gave up no runs on no hits, but did walk a batter.
That ball's popped straight back and out of play. Count goes even at 2 to the ever dangerous first baseman.
And LeFew was a workhorse the last 2 seasons at Wake Forest. Last year had a team-leading 27 appearances, a 4.46 ERA, and then as a freshman had 20 appearances as well, including 5 starts.
2-2 pitch from the lefty. Check swing. Caught looking. 3rd strikeout of the day for Armstrong. He has not had himself a day. But speaking of people who have had a day, Travis Sanders has eluded getting out every single time he has stepped up to the plate. He's looking to go 2 for 2 because he has 2 walks as well, but go 4 for 4 with on-base percentage today in an extremely crucial moment for the Bears as they have 2 runners on, 1 runner in scoring position with only 1 out. That pitch is called for a strike on the lower half of the zone.
Yeah, for Travis Sanders, and we've said it multiple times, but he's basically played the role of being the guy to get on base, get the ball rolling. But now it's the time they need him to be that cleanup hitter that he is.
Swung on early and missed. The changeup has him biting. 0-2 count for the captain shortstop. And the Bears quickly moving from good to bad here in the top of the 7th. Swung on and missed. Back-to-back strikeouts for LeFew, straight out of the bullpen. And he is shutting these Bears down.
Well, now it rests on the shoulders of Braden Buchanan, who did have a single and came around to score in the 4th, but last time up to bat, grounded out to 3rd. And they desperately need this hit. You can't be leaving guys on.
That ball's taken outside. 1-0 count.
Bears already have had 7 guys left on base, and you cannot add 2 more. This is an extremely important at-bat.
That ball's foul tipped over the first base line. Count moves to 1-1 on Braden Buchanan. One pitch is way high. Carson Tinney has to dive, and his mask falls off. But he does save the passed ball. Runners remain at 1st and 2nd. Count is 2-1 to the Bears catcher.
Yeah, Carson Tinney. We've talked about how good he is at the plate, but he's also a very solid defensive catcher as well. Has only allowed 1 pass ball so far this season, no errors either. And has already caught 2 base runners this season.
Strike, swinging from LeFew. The count moves even at 2. LeFew looking to strike out the side here, fresh out of the bullpen, feeling hot. The Texas faithful are loud. They're cheering on LeFew. Here's the pitch. Runners go. Ball, strike 3 called on the lower half of the zone. And LeFew is feeling hot as he walks off the mound. The Bears leave 2 runners on. We go to the bottom of the 7th. You're listening to Baylor Lariat Radio.
Stay informed and stay connected with Lariat TV News. Tune in to LTVN every Friday, your go-to source for everything happening on campus and around Waco. From breaking stories to exclusive interviews, we cover campus events, student life, sports updates, and more. By the students, for the students. Catch our latest broadcast every Friday afternoon on YouTube by searching Baylor Lariat TV News. Hey Bears! Are you a freshman or senior? Freshman and senior portraits are now being scheduled. Watch your Baylor email for more information on how to reserve your sitting.
Welcome back to the bottom of the seventh. Bears leave two stranded in the top of the frame. New pitcher on the mound for your Bears. Luke McLeod steps in. Jeffrey, what do you have on Luke?
Yeah, Luke's a freshman righty out of Sour Lake, Texas, making his third appearance on the season. Last time he pitched was on Tuesday against Stephen F. Austin.
As that ball is taken high and inside by Aiden Robbins for a ball.
He's gone 2 1/3 scoreless innings so far. He's given up 5 hits, struck out 3 as well, and has given up 1 double.
Strike taken across the middle of the plate. Fastball 92 miles per hour out of the hand. Whoa, inside and tight. Ball 2 from McLeod.
Yeah, McLeod so far this season has been a very efficient pitcher through 13 pitches across 1 inning against Texas State, and then 21 in 1 1/3 against SFA.
On the warning track, Brady Janusek reels that one in. The Longhorns thought they had themselves a long ball. Janusek reins it back into the park for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, and I mean, it looked like Aiden Robbins had his team leading 5th home run of the season as Brady Janusek just kept on going farther and farther back, but eventually got settled on the warning track as Robbins missed a home run by only a couple feet.
Here's the pitch. Outside to Adrian Rodriguez. Adrian doesn't get a lot of praise compared to some of the other guys on this team, but coming into the season, he was ranked as the number 12 shortstop in the nation by D1 Baseball. That ball is lined way out into right field, but Brady Janusek is underneath it again, ranging way over his right shoulder and into the gap, but he covers a lot of ground to make that play, and that is back-to-back flyouts to the right fielder for 2 quick outs for the Bears.
And this has been the best defensive showing we've seen from Brady Janusek all season. Not a whole lot of action out in right field, but when the time comes, when the ball comes his way, he's been making these plays, and he's done a very good job tonight.
Making up for the earlier error he had when the ball rolled past him on the Anthony Pack Jr. single to right field. Definitely an impressive play, as that ball is called for a strike on the upper inside corner of the zone. Count is 0-1 to Timo Becerra. Ball low in the dirt. Count moves to 1-1. Swung on down the third base line, but foul. One-two count, 2 outs. McLeod is in complete control right now of these at-bats. Here's the pitch. Swung on and fouled off into the upper deck. Count remains 1-2. Through 10 pitches, McLeod is almost out of this inning. Here's the 11th. That ball is lined over the shortstop's head into the left center gap. And Temo Becerra is standing with a double.
Great hit from Temo Becerra. Third time he's reached base today. Got hit by a pitch in the first, walked in the third. And now he finally gets to unleash, put a great swing on that ball. Sends it right into the alley in left center field. And it could be a thing to get the ball rolling with 2 outs for the Longhorns.
And highly rated freshman Anthony Pack Jr. steps into the lefty batter's box. He has 2 singles for 2 RBIs today. Definitely been one of Texas's more proficient hitters today. That ball's fouled out of play. Late on the fastball, 90 miles per hour. Tamo's not much of a runner. No stolen base attempts on the year. Not the fastest guy on this Longhorn roster, so no need to be too concerned of him at second base. That ball is low and in the dirt, blocked by Braden Buchanan. Count moves to 1-1. McLeod set. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. Count moves to 1-2. Gassed it right by him there with a fastball. Here's the 1-2 pitch from McLeod. Check swing. Did he go? No, says the third base umpire, Clint Fagan, crew chief tonight. Count moves to 2-2 on the high fastball.
Well, that's a good sign if you're Luke McLeod. Now you know that you're starting to get into Pack Jr.'s head.
Here's the pitch. Fouled off down the third base line into the club level seats and out of play.
Yeah, that's a pure survival swing. Anthony Pack Jr. had absolutely no intention of putting that ball in play. He just wanted to live to see another at-bat. Trying to reach out as far as he could, had to lift up that back foot as well.
Here's the pitch. Check swing in the dirt. Ball is past Braden Buchanan. Becerra takes third base standing. Wild pitch for McLeod. Moves the runner to third base with 2 outs, and the count moves full to Anthony Pack Jr. Payoff pitch to Pack. Swung on and lined into center field. Ty Johnson's underneath it, and that will end the inning, avoiding any further damage to the score. Baylor remains down 3 runs. Stay with us for the 8th and 9th inning here on Baylor Lariat Radio.
Hey Bears! Are you always the last to know about what's happening at Baylor? Are you left quiet in a group when talking about last week's game? Well, you haven't gotten your morning buzz yet. Did you know you can get your dose of current Baylor news every Tuesday through Friday straight to your inbox? The Baylor Lariat Morning Buzz e-newsletter provides you with breaking Baylor stories, local events, and in-depth sports coverage daily. You can be in the know on all things Baylor. If you aren't already buzzing, go to BaylorLariat.com. That's BaylorLariat.com and click the subscribe now to get your morning buzz from the Baylor Lariat. News for the students, by the students. We'll see you in your inbox.
Welcome to the top of the 8th here at Daikin Park. Pitching change for the Longhorns. Ethan Walker comes into this game. Lefty pitcher. Anything you have on Walker, Jeffrey?
Yeah, Walker making his 4th appearance on the season. Pitched last night, but only faced one batter. Came in the middle of the inning for Ruger Riojas.
As Hunter Snow lines it against the shift. No third baseman there at all. And he's trying to take second base. He'll be in there on the bobbled throw. Great heads-up play. Hits it against the shift, down the third base line. Left fielder Jaden Duplantier could not come up with the ball. And Snow continues to round first base and take second, too.
Yeah, well, he saw that no one was really covering second all that tightly. Adrian Rodriguez had gone out to be the cutoff man. Ethan Mendoza was kind of in the vicinity of second base, but he wasn't really covering. And so Hunter Snow just capitalizing it. Good vision, good IQ on that one. And the Bears needed to get any base they can.
And pinch hitting here for Ewens is Cash McDade, number 20, freshman from Fairfax, Virginia, batting righty. As that ball is lifted out of play and foul. The third designated hitter on the night for the Bears. McDade replaces Ewens, who replaced De La Garza earlier in the game. Bears trying any new bats that could score some runs. Count is 0-1 to the freshman. Pickoff attempt at second base. Slow move from Ethan Walker.
Yeah, the freshman McDade, not a whole lot of action, only the 4th game he's played in. Last time out was on Tuesday against SFA. Got his 2nd start of the season, went 1 for 4.
Yeah, only 1 hit on 6 at-bats. As that ball's lined into center field, and that's going to be caught by Aiden Robbins, but Hunter Snow will tag and reach third base. The tying run is in the on-base circle, or on-deck circle. Brighton Clements now up.
And just some more good hustle by Hunter Snow. He saw that Robbins was running to his left, so running away from that third base side, and he knew he had free reign to go back and tag it from second.
As Schlossenegger comes out here, he is not pleased with what he's seen from Walker so far, and after just 2 batters faced, that will be the end of his evening today. A short spell for him. And stay with us here on Baylor Lariat Radio as we will be right back from this pitching change. Welcome back to the top of the 8th. Hunter Snow still at third base. Pitching change for your Bears, or for the Longhorns against the Bears. Thomas Burns comes into this game. Burns has thrown 3 2/3, 1 hit allowed, 1 earned run allowed, 2 walks, but most impressively 9 strikeouts. How is a team like Baylor going to face off against a strikeout-heavy guy like Burns, Jeffrey?
I think you just got to swing early. Don't let him get on his game. Unless it's uncompetitive pitches like that one that we just saw that was way outside as the first pitch to Brighton Clemens.
Yeah.
Wait.
I think the biggest thing here is going to be plate discipline, not chasing pitches low, not tailing after fastballs that whiz past you. As that ball is called for a strike on the lower outside corner.
Yeah, I think also for the Bears, you can't let a guy like Thomas Burns, who likes to use the fastball, who likes to get these strikeouts, find his rhythm. You need to swing, you need to make contact and break any kind of rhythm that he's going to try to form.
Absolutely. As that ball is swung on way high and missed. Clemens was just waving at it. And now he is quickly down 1-2.
Yeah, and you can see why Thomas Burns has the amount of strikeouts he does. That's a high fastball at 97 miles an hour. It's going to be tough for any hitter to touch that.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. In the dirt, 2-2 count to the third baseman. Clements ready. Burns ready. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swung on and popped straight up in the air. Carson Tenney's under it. Called off by Casey Borba. And that will be a fly out to the first baseman. Bears down to their last 4 outs here. Still trailing 3 runs. 9-hole hitter Ty Johnson, graduate student, steps into the dish. Ty is a lefty facing off against the righty Burns. Looking to drive in Hunter Snow from third base, make this a 2-run game. Here's the pitch. Inside, ball 1.
And that pitch looked destined for the backstop, but Carson Tinney having to spin and backhand that ball. Make sure to keep Hunter Snow at bay, who's been very aggressive on the base paths in this go-around, really showing off that speed.
1-0 pitch to Johnson, taken for a strike on the outside half. Ball is high. 2-1 count to the center fielder. Lefty batter. Waiting. Looking for a perfect opportunity here to drive in a run. Pitches on, swung and missed. Gasses him with the fastball. Johnson seemed to be sitting off speed. The fastball registered at 98 miles an hour. He cannot catch up, and the Texas faithful are on their feet for Thomas Burns. Here's the pitch. Swung on, hit the second base. 4 on to 3, and that will retire the side. Thomas Burns comes in and gets the job done. Stay with us at the bottom of the 8th as the Bears look to hold the Longhorns here on Baylor Lariat Radio.
Hey there, Bears. Are you living your best life this year at Baylor? Well, we've got great news. The Baylor Roundup Yearbook has been right there with you, capturing those memories at every event. So don't forget to buy your 2022-23 Baylor Roundup Yearbook today and share your memories with friends and family for generations to come. But wait, did you already graduate? Don't worry, we've got you covered. We have yearbooks dating all the way back to 1896. So visit our website today at www.baylor.edu/roundup and order your copy. That's www.baylor.edu/ROUNDUP. Have a great year, Bears, and sick 'em.
Welcome back as Hunter Snow was stranded at third base by the Bears last inning. Luke McLeod still on the rubber here for the Bears in the bottom of the 8th, facing off against 7, 8, 9, Borba, Duplantier, and Corville.
And those last 2 innings for the Baylor lineup have to be so frustrating, getting leadoff guys on and then just finishing out with 3 straight outs.
First pitch is called a strike in the bottom corner of the zone. Here's second pitch, taken high by the chin. 1-1 count to the first baseman. Here's the pitch. Check swing. did not go around, says first base umpire Joe Harris.
That's a close call right there. I thought the Bears might have had an argument.
I agree. I thought he went around personally, but Mr. Harris disagrees at first. The count is 2-1. Here's the pitch. Looked at for ball 3.
Yeah, and this is what you cannot be doing if you're Luke McLeod. You cannot be getting behind in these counts. You need to be competitive, even if that lets these Texas hitters put the ball in play.
That ball is lined straight to Hunter Snow and left. Out number 1 in the bottom of the 8th.
Because, yeah, right there, Casey Borba squared that ball up. That was a hard hit line drive, probably over 100 miles an hour. But Hunter Snow is in a great position. He's been very good in left field. Brady Janusek has had a great game in right. Ty Johnson gets the job done in the outfield. So you just, even though it's been tough defensively early in the game, it seems like the defense has really settled down, and you just got to let them work. That's what your strength is.
And the crowd cheers, the Texas faithful cheer, as number 9 Jonah Williams comes in to pinch hit for Jaden Duplantier. Williams ranked the number 80 outfielder by D1 baseball position rankings. One of Texas's star players who did not get the start today. Quick little meeting between Buchanan and McLeod as Doug Williams will come to break it up.
Yeah, this is the first time that Jonah Williams has come off the bench for the Longhorns this season, as Mitch Thompson now walking out. Looks like he'll take McLeod out, but coming into tonight, Jonah Williams, 4 starts in all 4 of the games he's played. Last night went 1 for 3, also got hit by a pitch versus Coastal Carolina. Had a really good game against Michigan State last Sunday, going 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs and a double.
And during his freshman campaign, he went .327, batting 18 for 55, with 8 runs and 10 runs batted in. Only a sophomore, still a lot of time to progress. He's projected to be the number 11 prospect in all of SEC, as we are going to go to a quick break for the pitching change. Stay with us here on Baylor Lariat Radio.
Hey Bears! Are you a freshman or senior? Freshman and senior portraits are now being scheduled. Watch your Baylor email for more information on how to reserve your sitting.
Pitching change on the mound for the Bears. R.J. Rue comes in. Lefty throwing .337 ERA. 2 2/3 pitched. As that one's called for a strike to Jonah Williams. RJ, one of Baylor's captains this year, out of the bullpen, looking to lead the Bears to 2 more outs and hopefully out of this inning, as that one is also cut on and missed. Jonah Williams quickly down to an 0-2 to the Baylor reliever.
Yeah, R.J. Rue, 2 2/3 innings, has given up only 1 run. That was back last Saturday against Purdue. Went 1 2/3, gave up a run on 3 hits.
That ball in the dirt. Count moves to 1-2. Foul tip at the plate. Staying alive. Swing and a miss in the dirt. Throws on to first to get him out. And that is a strikeout for R.J. Rue.
Yeah, and that was another awkward play for the Baylor defense. Braden Buchanan kind of jumbled, having to look around for that ball. Finally was able to gather himself and kind of had to throw around Jonah Williams and had Tice Armstrong reaching out towards foul territory, but still able to get the out.
2 outs now in the bottom of the 8th. Brings up Presley Corville. Presley from Lake Charles, Louisiana. He's a freshman playing designated hitter tonight. RJ delivers. Swung on in the dirt. Count quickly moves to 0-2.
I don't know what Corville was thinking. He must have been swing all the way no matter where that pitch was, because that landed a solid foot or 2 in front of the plate. And, I mean, it was a half-hearted swing, but he still went around.
0-2 pitch. Swung on, fouled. Chopped at another pitch that was low in the dirt. This time he makes contact. Stays alive to see another pitch. Righty batter on lefty pitcher. RJ's ready. Corville steps into the box. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball 1. Here's the pitch. Swung on, lined over the second base Reebok's head. Brady Janusek fields it. That'll be a single for Presley Corville.
Yeah, and that was not RJ Rue's best pitch. Just kind of looping that ball into the zone. And not too difficult of a pitch to hit for Corville, being able just to send it the opposite direction into right center field.
Top of the order now for the Longhorns. Ethan Mendoza, righty batter. Pitch delivered high. Ethan is 0 for 2 on the day with 2 walks. He did come around to score once in the first. Here's the pitch. Called strike on the lower half of the zone. Count moves to 1-1. RJ looking to move out of this frame unscathed. Give the Bears a fighting chance in the top of the 9th to crawl back. 1-1 pitch. Swung on and popped up on the infield. Sanders calls off Reebok, catches it, and that will end the inning. Stay with us here on Baylor Lariat Radio for the top of the 9th as the Bears look to fight for a bottom of the ninth here at Daikin Park.
Hey there, Bears. Are you living your best life this year at Baylor? Well, we've got great news. The Baylor Roundup Yearbook has been right there with you, capturing those memories at every event. So don't forget to buy your 2022-23 Baylor Roundup Yearbook today and share your memories with friends and family for generations to come. But wait, did you already graduate? Don't worry, we've got you covered. We have yearbooks dating all the way back to 1896. So visit our website today at www.baylor.edu/roundup and order your copy. That's www.baylor.edu/ROUNDUP. Have a great year, Bears, and sick 'em.
Welcome back to the top of the ninth. Bears look to make a late game rally here. Only 3 outs left. Thomas Burns still on the mound, throwing 98-mile-per-hour fastballs past the Bears. Brady Janusek at the dish. That pitch is called low, 97 miles per hour below the knees.
And the Bears have faced speed like this before when they played against Oregon State, and Dax Whitney blown by pitches in the upper 90s, topped out at 99. They've seen it before, just haven't been able to hit it.
That ball is fouled back into the second level. Count moves to 1-1. Bears in their last life here against the number 3 ranked Longhorns. Burns deals. Swung on and missed. Slider cuts away from Janusek. The count moves to 1-2. Having a 90-mile-per-hour slider is so deadly in collegiate baseball. Most pitchers don't even have a fastball that fast. Called outside. The Texas faithful truly believed that Janusek was caught looking, but the count moves even to 2.
Doug Williams still got a tight zone, not giving these pitchers an inch. The Bears, you got to take advantage of it.
2-2 pitch. High and away. Count moves full to the leadoff man for the Bears. Bears are in desperate need of a runner. The tying run sits in the hole. Here's the pitch. Swung on and popped straight up in the air. Shortstop Adrian Rodriguez is underneath it. 1 away for the Bears.
Yeah, like you said earlier, Andrew, when it comes to pop-ups on the infield, shortstop rules above all, and we saw it right there. All 4 infielders are converging on the same spot. It looked like Temo Becerra was going to be the one to make the catch, but at the last second, Rodriguez calls him off and makes the routine catch for the first out of the inning.
Pearson Reebok steps in for the 5th time tonight. He's looking to get on base, get a rally started here for the Bears. Pitch is looked at for a strike on the inner half. As it stands currently, Sanders is the tying run, sitting in the hole right now. Here's the pitch. Taken high. 1-1. One count. That ball called for a strike on the lower inner quarter. 2 strikes now on the second baseman. Pitch on, swung and missed. And the Bears are down to their final outs of the evening.
Yeah, I mean, that's just Thomas Burns' bread and butter, right? You go that elevated fastball with 2 strikes. A guy like Pearson Reebok is typically not going to be able to barrel that thing up. He's not a big guy. Just having to swing up and unable to make any contact is now Tice Armstrong, who's 0 for 4. The Bears' last hope to keep this game rolling.
Tice Armstrong hoping to prove that he can play against top competition. Here's the pitch. Taken low for a strike. Oh, 1 count to the big first baseman. That's looked at high for a ball. The Texas faithful thought that was a strike. And Doug Williams is hearing it right now from many fans near home plate. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. The slider buckles him, as now the Bears are down to their final strike of the evening. Tice stands in, hoping not to strike out for the 4th time today. Texas fans are on their feet. Here's the pitch. Taken high over the head. 2-2 counts to Tice. Texas fans are up. Tice is ready. Burns is ready. 2-2 delivery on the way. Looked at outside. Full count now to the first baseman. Good plate discipline here.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Good plate discipline. Not trying to do too much when the moment is big. Everybody, you can feel the anticipation rising, but he's not feeling overpressured to swing at a bad pitch.
The claps are on from the Texas fans. Here's the payoff pitch. Swung on and popped up. Will it get out of play? It will, over the first base line and out of play. Tice lives on to see another pitch. Count remains full. 2 outs, nobody on in the top of the 9th for the Bears. They trail 5-2. Burns looks him down. Winds and deals. In the dirt, ball 4 as Tice draws a walk and avoids the 4th strikeout on the night for him. Do the Bears have a glimmer of hope, or will it be all for naught?
Yeah, I got to give major props to Tice Armstrong. Again, just another frustrating day for him at the plate outside of Baylor Ballpark, but not letting the moment be too big, forcing himself to swing at a pitch way out of the zone while he's down to 2 strikes.
Yeah, great plate discipline, great confidence.
Yeah, that's really a sign of a veteran hitter.
Sanders steps up to the plate now, who has been the only consistent on-base player for the Bears today, as he swings and misses, takes a huge cut at the fastball. 96 miles per hour from Burns. He is down 0-1 in the count. Burns looks, deals. Check swing, no. Low in the dirt. Count is even at 1.
Yeah, a lot of disapproving complaints, I'll say, from the Texas fans, but I think that was a good call by Doug Williams. That ball looked low. Carson Tinney did the best he could to frame it, but to no avail.
Travis Sanders ready. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. 96 miles per hour as the fastball grazes the bottom half of the zone. And just like that, the Bears are down to their final strike again. Here's the pitch. High, ball 2. Twos to the shortstop. Burns delivers. High, full counts. The Texas fans thought it was in.
Yeah, they've been complaining a lot these last couple innings. Just seems like Doug Williams
called a fair zone, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's been tight on both sides. Full count, runner on first base, will be going. Here's the pitch, swung on and missed. And with that, the Bears fall to the Longhorns 5-2. The difference today being lack of defensive prowess and runners left on base. With 11 runners left on now with Tice Armstrong, and 4 errors from the Bears when it mattered most. Despite an impressive defensive showing for the back half of the game, the offense was not enough to convert, and the Bears fall to the number 3 ranked team in the nation.
Yeah, it just seemed like at the beginning of the game, there might have been some nerves involved. I mean, this is a high-profile opponent that the Bears haven't played since UT was in the Big 12 back in 2024. And yeah, I mean, it's a 5-2 final score, and that 3-run first with multiple errors from the Baylor defense seemed to be that difference. But as you said, runners left on, 11 total. The Bears finished 1 for 18 with runners on and 0 for 10 for runners in scoring position. And that is not a recipe for success.
Yeah, despite holding the Longhorns to a very low batting average of 239 on the day, those first 3 innings absolutely shot the Bear in the foot, and they were not able to claw back from that. A lot of great opportunities with runners in scoring position, but unfortunately for the Bears, they fall by the wayside and are another victim to the number 3 ranked Texas Longhorns.
Yeah, they'll be back out tomorrow against UTSA. First pitch scheduled for 6:05, but we will not be broadcasting that game. So we hope to be back on the air in a little while, March 10th, as Sam Houston takes on the Bears at Magnolia Field at Baylor Ballpark. That'll do it from us here in Houston. Bears drop game 2 of the weekend tournament, the Bruce Bolt Classic, losing this one 5-2. The Longhorns 5 runs on 7 hits, 1 error, and the Bears 2 runs on 4 hits and 4 errors. Those errors looking to be the difference as the Bears fall to 6-4 overall. Texas now 10-0. That'll do it from us on this Saturday night. Thank you all for tuning in. I'm Jeffrey Cohen, here alongside me for this weekend, Andrew Denk, and you've been listening to Baylor Baseball on the Baylor Lariat Radio.